Hey, it's your loan officer, Linda here, and I want to talk to you guys about the different types of loan programs and the down payment requirements for them. Now, this is just general information. The program that you qualify for and the down payment that is required is going to be based on you and your specific situation. So when you guys see this and you have any questions, give me a call and we'll chat about it because these are going to be program minimum down payments. That's not necessarily meaning your minimum down payment. So I'll explain that here in a little bit. But the two most popular types of loan programs out there are going to be your conventional loans and your FHA, Federal Housing Administration loans. The one is a government loan and one is a government-backed loan. And because they're backed by the U.S. government, they're considered very safe, very strong loans. That's why the interest rates are typically going to be lower. The down payment requirement is typically going to be a little bit lower. And conventional loans are going to fall under Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. These are the entities that run conventional type loans. They're minimum 5% down if you plan on living in the home as a primary residence, meaning that you're going to buy the home to live in it full time. We'll go into the criteria for investment properties and second homes in a little bit, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going to talk about primary residences. Conventional loans, they have what I really truly consider first-time home buyer programs. The term first-time home buyer is thrown around a lot, and I think there's a lot of misunderstandings about it. Really, what a first-time home buyer requirement means is that you have never owned a home or have not been on title of a home in the last 3 years. So if you owned a home 10 years ago, but you sold it 5 years ago, and you haven't owned anything since, you're automatically considered a first-time home buyer again. However, if you're on title on mom's home because she wants to make sure that you inherit it after everything, you're no longer a first-time home buyer. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Everybody thinks it's the end of the world that you're not a first-time home buyer. FHA loans are going to be a minimum of 3.5% down, and FHA loans are only going to be for people who intend on living in the home as a primary residence. Next one is going to be our VA, Veteran Administration loans. This is also a government loan, and this is going to be for the veterans and their spouses. Now, veteran and spouses, there are no down payment requirement for VA loans. You can finance 100% of the home. It is possible to have a veteran and a non-veteran on a VA loan. So let's say, for example, a dad who's the veteran and his son. It will require a 12.5% down payment. And here is why. VA loans, like I said earlier, it's 100% financing, no down payment requirement. But the guarantee of the Veterans Administration loans are 25%. So their guarantee is the equivalent of 25%. Much stronger than the conventional or the FHA loans, right? VA loans are hands down my favorite loans because they are the most forgiving and the strongest type of loan. So most forgiving on the debt ratio, income, credit, right? So if the guarantee is 25%, then the veteran's half of that is covered. The veteran doesn't have to pay that. The non-veteran on the loan will have to cover their half of 12.5%. So now I want to talk to, I love non-conforming loans. I'll talk to you more about non-conforming loans in a whole nother video because this takes some time. But essentially these are going to fall under everything that isn't considered a conventional loan, an FHA loan, or a VA loan. And so this is going to fall under jumbo, non-QM loans, non-qualified mortgages, private money, investor loans. And these are going to require up to 20 to 35% down. And they're going to look at guidelines differently and your ability to qualify differently from conventional FHA or VA loans. Hence the reason why it's going to require a higher down payment, right? So these are not government or government-backed loans. So once you've had a chance to watch this, let me know. Let's talk about your scenario, because it doesn't cost you anything for us to chat. It doesn't cost you anything for me to answer your questions. And don't stumble around the internet looking for answers that may not be pertinent to your financial position or your buying goals. So 702-574-1877. Call me. Let's talk about it.